Hundreds of games, thousands of athletes all over campus, and it got no better at LakePoint Sports in 2022 than June's PBR Classic Championship between Nelson Baseball School and 3-2 Sticks.
Yeah, so this was a classic David versus Goliath matchup. Every player in the Arkansas Sticks lineup was D1 committed. With Nelson, we had one D1 commit, Zach Weeder, Holy Cross. He's a switch hitter. Pretty interesting guy, but a bunch of scrappy players on Nelson.
You know, we had kind of watched him earlier in the tournament. We knew that, especially when the bracket came out, that it was looking like it was going to be us and them lining up to the finish.
They really were not scared, had no fear, and went straight at the Arkansas Sticks. It was a heck of a matchup.
Nelson wasn't intimidated, jumping out to a 3-0 lead. Following back-to-back walks, Harrison Childers laid down a bunt. The throw from the Sticks catcher was wide, and Childers took advantage, crossing the plate for the early edge. Sticks struck back in the bottom of the first. Jace Blaylock doubled and would score on an extra base hit from Ty Wade, who was thrown out trying to reach third. Nelson led 3-1 after one. The Sticks bats tied it up in their next at-bat with Trip Landers doubling and then scoring two batters later on a sacrifice fly from Sam Silas. And then Carson Kimball provided the big blow with this monster shot, tying it at 3-3.
Yeah, we had been down in all three games on the day. Came back in the first game, won it. Came back the second game and walked it off. It was kind of exhausted. Players has to catch flights. I think our 4 and 5 hole from the first game had jumped on a flight, or the second game had jumped on a flight. So we were kind of down on numbers and exhausted. And I just think it was at that point of the day, it was down 3-0. Might as well have been 0-0. So, you know, Kimball hadn't hit all tournament. He was actually a PO, but because of the flights out, he had to hit. And from that point on, he was begging for at-bats all summer. He had a huge home run. Blaylock had been our man all summer offensively. Tripp had a great summer, and Ty Wade is one of the best hitters in the country in that class. So those guys you expect it from. Sometimes when you're exhausted and tired and had a day like we had in the weekend, you need some unexpected heroes. And that was, you know, the Rhett Richardsons and the Carson Kimballs of the world.
We saw it all summer with these guys. Kimball's home run was so impressive. You know, 2 mid-swing adjustments on the pitch. It was an up and in pitch to both get his hands above that and shrink his front arm to turn the barrel in tight space. 2 very impressive adjustments that are in a split second, and really shows to me that he's going to hit for some real serious power at Texas State.
Sticks would go up 5-3 in the fourth. Charlie Carter tripled, followed by an RBI single from Landers. Courtesy of runner Rhett Richardson stole second and then scored on an error. Nelson again took advantage of free passes, drawing 2 walks before Easton Sears doubled them both home to tie things at 5-5.
Man, I've got to give a ton of credit to Carson Sears. I think he had 3 barrels off upper 80's arms. I mean, he was just sitting fastball and just crushing baseballs.
That score would remain until the bottom of the 6th. Ethan Sutton reached on an error, then caused some havoc on the base pass. He stole second, then he stole third. He would cross the plate on Cade Smith's single for a 6-5 Sticks lead. But Nelson answered. Josh Regala reached on an error, and with 2 outs, Sebastian Collender singled on a line drive to center for a 6-6 tie.
Another guy who was really impressive for Nelson was Sebastian Collender. He was 2 for 3 with an RBI, the clutch one late in the game, posed 2 runners. He's a very underrated catcher who I really think is going to be a great addition to a college program.
Sticks met the moment in the bottom of the 7th. Richardson laid down a 1-out bunt single, then Martavius Thomas followed with a walk, setting the stage for Blaylock.
Yeah, I love how Blaylock didn't change what makes him who he is there and try and punch something through a hole.
Not to be overconfident or whatever, but I knew we were going to win. And it's easy to say in hindsight, but I don't know if we've had a kid that's worked as hard as Jace has offensively, but he's put the work in, and we just felt very good about it. You know, not a ton of outs, not a ton of velocity on the mound to beat him. And we just knew he was going to get in a good count. And once he did that, I thought, hey, we got a shot here. And it was just a matter of if we were going to be able to send him from second or not.
He delivered a line drive to left, and the celebration was on.
He looked to do damage. I mean, he looked like he was trying to go deep and ended up topping a hard liner to left and with a, clutch game-winning run. Very excited to see what he can do at the next level.
And that kind of just, it kind of just really momentum us to have a great summer at that point. I think we were 27-4, and all 4 of our losses were the top 25 teams. 3 of them were the top 9 ranked teams. So we had a turning point to go either way. And if we lost that game, it'd have been a good summer. I'm not sure if it'd have been a great summer, but that walk-off hit from Jace Block really changed the narrative. And we kind of expected to win after those 3 games that day.